The Cossacks ride ahead of the Russian horde in today's NTW 3 battlefield today, and we have a glorious 4v4 here as we have Russia 1807, like the Polish sort of like invasion of Russia. I think it is. It's like Russia Polsha. I don't remember this faction, but it's one of the lesser seen Russian factions, that is for sure. The 1807. They are moving forward. We have a horde of Cossacks here coming forward. Look at all these guys. It looks like they are going heavy on the light cav here. Our Russia, they try and harass probably French lines and go for generals and artillery is probably their aim. We have Piedmont that is joining them in this battle. So yeah, another faction we don't often see a lot of, but it's good to see them in today's battle. Often a very good shooting faction, and they have some pretty solid grenadiers as well. But yes, they are moving forward here. So yeah, 1796 Piedmont and Sardinia. We then also have coming down from the heights of Rivoli, we do have 1805 Austria as well. So yeah, we have them here, and look at them. They're in this cavern. Imagine if they got like hit by artillery down here, or just like even just got like tied down here. That would be such a choke point fight here. Then we have 1805 Austria, and then I think we have another one, or maybe am I missing an army, or is it just two Austrias? There might be two Austrias together. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure there's another one. Oh, there it is, all the way over there. UK, Spain, 1808 as well, also here. But yeah, Russia going in early with that Cossack cav. Looks like he's trying to maybe go for artillery. Doesn't look like he had any success. Looks like infantry maybe has stopped him along with cavalry here, and we have more Cossacks coming in. And again, they try to break. It looks like they routed maybe the cav there, but the infantry here, I mean, it's kind of dimming right now. They are, firing whilst in melee. That was pretty bad. But yeah, hitting the Cossacks there. So yeah, we have Britain, we have Piedmont, we have Russia, and we have Austria. So we have a good selection of coalition forces. And then on the French side here, we do have a multitude of different French armies as well. We have, I think this is the Italian campaign, France by the looks of it, like the 1796 Italian campaign. We have the US way back there, 1812 US, and then I'm not sure on the other French armies off the top of my head. I can't remember, and it's not great that we can't see because of fog of war. So yeah, we have a bit of a mystery there when it comes to what are the French armies we have. I imagine it'll probably be. It looks like it might be another Italian campaign potentially. These are very early period style French units. So yeah, either be Rhine or it'll probably be Italian campaign, I'd imagine. Or I guess it could be Egypt as well. That's possible, but I don't think it is. They're often a bit more colourful, the Egyptian armies. They're pinks and reds. But yes, this is on a new map. This is on the Rivoli map. So yeah, we have Rivoli in the back over here. It's one of the 3 new maps that's been added. Rivoli, Lutzen, and I can't remember what the other one is. Raab. That's it. Battle of Raab as well. So yeah, so we have Rivoli here. I guess it's all like the main objective, if you ever were to play on Rivoli, is the town of Rivoli itself. We have various other villages around. Looks like Zouane, I think this is how you pronounce it. There's going to be a big focus here. The French are already entrenched around it. And yeah, it looks really, really cool. I do like this map. I think it's a pretty cool one. Big fan. I'm pretty sure it's a new one. I don't remember this one being before, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's one of the 3 new maps that got added in the new patch. It looks like already, Britain's already firing them some 95th rifles. They're already taking some shots at the French there. It's pretty impressive. The French also have got way in behind the Brits over here. We've got some chasseurs cheval really, really deep in behind enemy lines. The Brits, though, obviously can form square in most cases, so they don't need to rely on cav. They just need to keep Edward Paget here very safe. It's 1808. Yes, UK, Spain. It's a small, and I imagine a very expensive Spain. So like UK army as well. They're big units. I imagine as an 8 point, they're fairly expensive units, and he's bought good units. The Green Rascals, yeah, they're big units as well of Green Rascals. I've seen a lot of Highlanders as well. The Glasgow Highlander, the SA regiment here. So I imagine it's not the light foot variant. It's just actually like the foot variant. Yeah, there's some big units here. The Saucy Greens, Prince Wales Volunteers, Lily Whites, and I mean I guess also the Grasshoppers are here as well. It looks like US is arriving actually with some cavalry and some horse artillery already as well. So though their generals way back and probably most of their infantry, their sort of fast-moving stuff has already got to the front lines, ready to deal with Piedmont. That'll be an interesting duel. See Piedmont and US face off against each other. It looks like Russia over here and Austria have got the challenge of dealing with this France army and potentially another one. Looks like, yeah, we also might have 1814 potentially, I'd imagine, with the sheer amount of young guard I'm seeing is likely to be, yeah, 1814. That is confirmed with the National Guard here as well. So, yeah, 1814. We might see Ledoux. He might appear out of nowhere. That often is a fan favorite to be brought in this one. So, yeah, we have 1814. Definitely two, like, revolutionary armies, and then also USA as well. And, yes, looks like... I mean, this is 1805 Austria. This is kind of like, I guess, Austria, like, sort of the peak of their powers, I guess, maybe? Not really, maybe. Maybe 1809 is probably peak of their powers. Yeah, Jurassic here, ready to go. So we have got some heavy cavalry. We're probably going to retreat that a little bit. Imagine heavies have been brought to sort of, you know, deal with a potential Ledoux if it does, in fact, appear. And, yeah, the Hussars here already going down to orange line as they get bombarded by French artillery, which has got a beautiful position up on this hill. It has just disappeared, but just see it appear. It's got a great view of the battlefield, and certainly as the Austrians pass over here, they can just take pot shots at them. And yeah, it looks like already on this side here, wow, look at that, France going in and Britain going in. I'm not even paying attention, but yeah, Britain going in early here. Got Uxbridge's Hussars being spotted. Looks like Dragoons being repelled by the Green Rascals. Yeah, looks like the Frenchmen earlier in a melee managed to rile some of the Buckinghamshire foot. France are going into the back lines here. Looks like they're going to get Edward Paget. He's been tied down. The French though are redlining. Maybe not. We've got both the Paget brothers here. We've got Henry Paget and Edward Paget. There you go, Britain early into this battle. Having to scramble to try and save itself. And yeah, getting outflanked far too easily, you could say. I know that there's an artillery back there that the French also could have possibly taken out. I might have wanted to go for first. But yeah, there you go. It looks like this is another, looks like another Italian army. Still constantly guard here. Yeah, we've got a lot of grenadiers as well. Actually. So it looks like this army's getting ready to melee, which is what it wants to do. It's going up against good factions to try and melee. And the Britain, they prefer to shoot if they're going to have to do anything. There you go, a building has been occupied by the Austrians. It's no real, you know, advantage holding it, but there you go. I guess they can stabilize that left flank by having the pioneers there. Russia and France also starting to have some shots here against each other. And what have we got over here? We have got the Guard, the Life Guard of Russia. They are blasting away. Look at the size of these units. 183, 218 big units of guardsmen. They're losing slightly apparently. But yeah, I've got another one here. We have got 3 guard units here. Huge units. Obviously decent in shooting, but really they are best for melee. And actually looks like Piedmont as well, going with some cavalry. And they've managed to, it looks like they managed to rout the horse artillery of the, or maybe, I think it looks like they got it, yeah, of the US, and it looks like they might have routed something else as well by the looks of it. Not quite sure what else though. And we do have Ledoux now ascending that hill. Ledoux is here indeed. And I can hear more charging taking place. And yeah, it's France going in against some Russians. Some Jaeger here, calm form square. And there you go, Cavalry Battalion, more heavy calves. Gonna rout that again. Now they can wrap around potentially here. There's only Cossacks that can stop this French cav. Not exactly going to be very effective. They might give the initial charge off here with the Lancers. But in prolonged melee, these guys aren't going to do that great against heavy cav. Yeah, in a line fight, looks like combat winning slightly, combat even. Actually, yeah, maybe they're turning around. But yeah, look at this, Russia getting really close with the on the French here, and they're going to try and melee these guys. Russia obviously wants melee as well. In most cases, France and Russia, you know, kind of pretty similar, both wanting to get into bayonet range and start stabbing each other up. There you go, the Russians, in they go, doing their bit. And it looks like they're going to send the other one in, maybe to flank this unit, or maybe to charge over there. I'd flank that unit, see if you can try and rout it. Then, yeah, send in the Guard, get the Guard much closer, get them into bayonet range as well. Britain over here, yeah, repulsed the French, having forced them back by killing off their cav, and they saw the mobility is kind of lost. They didn't seem like they have much in the way of infantry to this French army, and Piedmont's actually supporting because US is not set up yet, ready for battle. So, and they do seem to be in a bit of a sticky position there. But yeah, Russia on the advance, and it looks like they're bringing forward some more Cossacks as well. There goes the infantry for France, but France has withdrawn pretty well, pretty steadily, and is going to retreat further back into Zunane, I think how you say it. And in go the French over here. Ledoux has been committed already. We have grenadiers. Can they form square? They can. They have. They have a cavalry unit in here as well to Piedmont, and they're going to try and break Ledoux. Very early commitment from 1814, trying to send in their grenadier cav. Big unit. It's like a 180 odd man unit. It's a huge unit. That's going in. US bringing forward some dragoons, I imagine, of their own. I think it's all of the US truly can bring. Yeah, light dragoons. They're going in to support. Yeah, Ledoux retreating. Smart thing to do. Grenadiers getting off one last volley. But yeah, Ledoux still in good shape. He just needs to rest up. There's plenty of opportunities to go for stuff. I mean, actually, I was going to say Piedmont often can't form square, but a fair amount of those units could there that I just highlighted. So fair enough. Russia still going in aggressive over here. France trying to hold them back with cavalry. Russia has been routed, and a countercharge from France is taking place. But volleys from the musketeers might rout that French infantry and cavalry. And the guard are forming square, and they will stop the cavalry assault, that is for sure. So Chateau Cheval start the red line and break. This is the time though for France to countercharge with these infantry units ahead of them and start to charge and bayonet. I don't know if they're that great in melee. They might not break the Russian guards, but they might certainly do a lot of damage to them. Or maybe they just want to try and shoot the guards if they're in the square, just try and break them like that. Austria looks like he's now starting to move forward. He also wants to be really in a line fight, same as Britain and Piedmont, really. Looks like he's brought a lot of German infantry, just gone for sheer mass of men. And yeah, he just needs to try and chip away at these guys. I mean, the French, you know, they brought the young guard. They are like trilliers of Voltigeurs. They're better at shooting than they are at melee, but I don't think they can deal with the mass of the Austrians if they stay in a prolonged gunfight. And Russia is committed. He's routed a few French units, and he's retreating. He knows not to overcommit. He knows that if he overcommits, he'll get himself isolated and cut off. I mean, Austria's, yeah, yet to set up, really. A little bit slow to the game. But France, as you can see as well, is also flanking around with the US. The US is kind of being freed up by Piedmont being so close to the UK over there. The US is almost able to come over here and help double team the Russians. So yeah, Russia needs to be very, very careful, and he doesn't want to overcommit because yeah, he is in danger of being outflanked. And it looks like, I think it's Ledoux, or no, it's the Cavalry Battalier units, but still scary units that can outmatch any of the Russian Cossacks, that is for sure. And yeah, with US moving forward as well on this flank, I mean, they often provide a lot of mass, often I think is what they usually go for. There are like out-and-out infantry units like this one here, but often a lot of the units like militia type units you just kind of just spam out if you bring. But yeah, look at that France player over there. He is running for the hills after that initial early charge, which we kind of missed, but obviously didn't seem to have great effect on the Brits. And they tried to go for that early assassination on Britain's general, which could have worked as a strategy. If they killed Britain's general, I think honestly they'd have like maybe not won the battle, but they would have done so much damage to Britain that Britain wouldn't be being as aggressive as this. But yeah, Britain and Piedmont really pushing back this French army, but by doing so, by France retreating so much, is allowing the US over here to get involved in this fight and make it a 3v2. And it looks like Russia is going to lose this cav fight. Cavalry Battalier here doing their bit. The square of the guard over there repulsing the other one. Here comes more Cossacks with a side charge. They troop out this Cavalry Battalier. They're both redlining. Or maybe not. The Cavalry Battalier is back to red now. It did just re-rally. And there you go. They've routed them. There you go. Cossacks have just enough charges. They can rout those heavy cav. And actually looks like Austria is having a few issues here with morale. I think it's the artillery on that hill is actually blasting, yeah, the Austrians if they get too close. It's getting really good hits. And actually it seems like the two duoing together here, the cannons and the Young Guard with their volleys are doing some great damage. And I guess if they get too close, the Young Guard can go for a melee charge if they want to try and rout these guys. It is worth a go. Yeah, Russia really falling back now. Austria taking on the mantle of the pressure on this flank for the moment. This is a much better gunfight here for the Austrians. They don't really want to assault over here, sort of across these rivers, because that's where the guns are. You can see, yeah, you can see the shots going off. There's artillery on this hill, and they've got beautiful line of sight pretty much of most of the Austrian front lines. They can just pretty much hit anything if they want to. But yes, if you have any 9.6 replays that you want to send in, do feel free to send them to my Discord. The link is down below in the description. It's the best place to send them in, to have them then featured on the channel, and have your name put up in YouTube Starlight. And yeah, I am looking for new replays as well for 9.6. With the new patch, a load of my replays are out of date. And it's actually the first 9.6 battle I think I've covered. I was so busy trying to get through the last of the 9.5s, but we are now to 9.6. Check it out, the mod here. I think there's been a few things altered and stuff like that. A few players, when I played in a stream for NTW3 a couple of days ago, they said that the sort of like the meta now is kind of not a melee. Melee was a lot less weaker, and to actually try and shoot your opponent was a much better tactic, which I think benefits more like Austria and Britain, of course. France, you know, kind of relies a lot more on meleeing, and meleeing isn't apparently like the strategy so much anymore. Which I guess is kind of like fairly good, since it is a shooting total war, not a melee total war like swords and spears. These guys are musketeers at the end of the day, designed to shoot, not to melee. But I still think certain factions and certain units are still really, really good in that department, especially those Russian guardsmen that are now pushing up the hill over here. Yeah, and they're looking like they're going to have to be blocking off the American lines here. Looks like Cossacks have managed to rout. I don't know what they've routed there. Looks like some skirmishers of the US. Skirmishers or some infantry that couldn't form square, that's for sure. But yeah, the Cossacks there doing their bit. They need to sort of rest up. They're tired, and yeah, they are redlining already. But yeah, the Cossacks, you know, still being a pest. What they, you know, are best at doing is being a pest. Yeah, it looks like Russia mostly facing off against US, and looks like Austria right now is facing off against two French armies. So this French army here, like sort of the 1796 one, is a little bloody. Seen some action. 1814 yet to see any action, but they're further down over here by their hill, and they're actually being forced to come off the hill as Austria's retreated. And that works for Austria. I mean, they have the artillery up here, do the French. I mean, this is I think 1796's artillery. But yeah, they have the artillery up here supporting. The further away it is, like the infantry for French are, the harder the angle for the artillery to get. It is a little bit, I would imagine. You're risking a bit more friendly fire. When your men are pretty much under the guns, you can't hit them really, which is what they were for a moment. But yeah, line infantry over here. Look at this. Oh, the Cossacks as well, giving a side charge. Looks like with the volley from the guards and also the Cossacks charging there, these guys almost broke. The Americans here not looking great in our line fight up against these guardsmen. And I imagine in a melee fight as well, not going to do that great. And there you go, routing already those US troops. Are the other ones going to rout? We'll see. I mean, looks like the guard are going to be super aggressive. The Cossacks as well might go in. Yeah, actually, look at that. They're breaking the sheer sight of the guard, are these Americans. And yeah, the Cossacks are going to whip on around. And the Americans already withdrawing. And there is going to be a general assassination. The Cossacks getting in there. To see some Dragoons are rushing over. Looks like it's Dragoons anyway. Yeah, there you go. General has fallen. That is, I don't know which army that is. I think it is the 1796. I don't think it's 1814. But yeah, these Russian Cossacks, they just basically camped out in this forest here and then came right through the back of the battle line. And there's no cavalry defending the general. Nothing on this left flank actually at all for the US. I think they might have lost the cav that they had there. Here where they're going to rout the Cossacks. But it looks like the second Cossack unit might get the Dragoons. We'll see. Yeah, they did indeed. The Dragoons are gone. But yeah, really poor play, you could say, from the Imperial forces. Not guarding as far as at all with anything. Not even infantry or just like a square infantry or a cav unit. That is kind of poor. But there you go. We have ample Dragoons as well here, and ample Dragoons and cavalry battalion. Something that could have just been by the general if it needed to be. It looks like the British and the Piedmont forces are bored about attacking that French army over there. They're going to turn around and they're going to come over here and try and slam into the back of the US and the French over there. So yeah, the US now having to retreat again. Looks like they're going to have to prepare as a rear guard, and that will be, this will be interesting to see. Will the French fall back to Rivoli and try and hold like this bit of a hill that they already have? I think it's probably the best idea they have. As you can see, yeah, the French and the US are running now, and it looks like the guard has been victorious once again for the Russians. It's only like recently that we covered the Battle of Forêt-Champenois, and that also has Russian guard in it. 1814 Russian guard. But yeah, 2 back-to-back battles of Russian guardsmen in it, and there you go. The French look like they went in for a charge. I think they may have attempted to try and get these Jaegers there, but they failed. A German line infantry has broken. I think they went for the Jaegers, so they tried to, I think. But they were trying to break the Jaegers and then get through to the 5-pounders here, I'm not sure. They are kind of like, if you just charge through, got the Jaegers, get into the 5-pounders quite easily. Stars here waiting. Anything on this left flank here for the Austrians is just at the mercy of those French guns up on that hill. We actually have American guns now moving forward. Pretty big guns. Their silent artillery blasting. Look at that, doing a lot of damage and actually doing damage to the Jurassic behind. I don't think these guys have seen action. We're already down 20 riders and redlining there as well. And yeah, these guys redlining. Austria, you know, taking a fair beating. They've done a good job. They've held up at least 2 armies, I think. But yeah, the artillery needs to be silenced. Don't know what this American unit is doing here, but it's just running across the front lines of both the French and the Russians. They're going to get hit from both sides by friend and foe if they're not careful. Piedmont has got his artillery set up in a pretty nice position, actually. I do kind of like this position. Sort of like, you know, on top of the, like, on the road. He's got his 3-pounders here, just sort of pounding away. I don't know if he's really in range of much. You might need to move it down the road, get a little bit closer, or prepare to turn it around, because, yeah, the French are certainly on Britain's ass. With the redcoats stand firm, they will do their duty for king and country. Yeah, France trying to, I think trying to get an angle maybe. They're really flanking hard. There's a lot of grenadiers, the constant guard here as well. Lots of, yeah, grenadiers. They're trying to get around just so they don't directly assault the British line, which is probably the worst idea they could have. There you go, France going in again against Austria, and Young Guard are part of it. And they're, yeah, making an all-out assault, 1814, just charging it. Whether he thinks he has the chance to defeat this Austrian army, I don't know. Whether he thinks this is the move. Seems like it's working to a certain extent. They've routed another German infantry there. That's going to upset these other ones. And there you go. They are. Looks like the French are going to win that. They're going to have to stabilize the situation with the cav charge, I imagine, Austria. Here you go, the Hussars. They're going to try and get that Young Guard. There you go. Looks like Austria is starting to stabilize. France has got into the back lines though, and has actually managed to get the general here. And there you go, that is Austria's general also dead. So yeah, 1796 returning the favour to the Austrians, killing their general off. Not good. So both sides now without a general. And that actually might rout Austria fully. Because yeah, they are kind of like mass routing. The Austrians still have that pioneer in that house. They might need that, you know. But yeah, this is sort of like the last line here of the Austrians, down to like sort of 3 units. And you know what? France, after taking a pretty early beating, I thought, on this right flank, speaking of Britain and France are fighting once again here. But yeah, France taking an early beating here, being forced back. They're now sort of in the ascendancy with 1 player out of them. But we'll see how it goes. They have an army without a general as well. There you go, Britain in melee as well. Not a good sign for the Redcoats. They're holding on, and here come the Guard of the Consul. They might make the difference of this side charge over here into the Hindustan. All the mortals. Whether they can get the cav in, I was going to say the King's Hussars, the tabs, might need to get committed. Yeah, I mean, there's no cav over here to still block them. Whether that is the case as a general, they could just loop around and get him, kill him off, and that's another French army that's in a whole load of trouble. Russia going in again. What are they setting in? Just the Guard. It's like a musketeers broken, but the Guard, you know, holds strong. There you go, yeah, the Guard are going to hold strong. Is the General going to go inside? I mean, Bennington here, that'd be kind of cool if he does. Sit inside the middle of that square. It's a big square that he could do so. And yeah, it looks like France is starting to win this melee fight over here. There you go, the Lily Whites, they're going to go into a fight. Square being weirdly formed up here. I can see why, because there's a cav nearby. It's a little bit too preemptive, I think, in this East Devonshire, but it's getting outgunned here by the French. A, because it's in the 2v1, but also it's in the square, so the whole unit can't fire. So yeah, a bit of a mistake there by the Brits. Should really sort that out. Looks like one of the... Oh, actually, Ledoux as well. Ledoux has he seen more action since we last checked on him? He's been routed by the tabs. I think he must have seen more action to him. This unit is tiny.
Grown weary, sir.
Yes, Austria out. One of the French almost out. Just leaves a 3v3 almost. USA as well, you know, looking shaky.
Fire when ready, boys. Fire when ready. I'd have thought Piedmont and US a good line fight would probably be better than US. Maybe a bit more melee with some of their units. I think they've got some like decent like marine type units, and maybe the militia are okay. But yeah, definitely Piedmont does not want a melee if possible. Even the Grenadiers are good, but that's about it. And Britain is getting routed. I mean, we've got Cossacks down the back line. They've actually managed to get the French general here. He was definitely quite open. There go the French dragoons routing the Cossacks, but it might not matter. This French army is now without a general. Britain might be able to mop these guys up. We'll see. Here go the Americans. Americans routing actually. The Piedmont gun stands strong, losing 5 crew members. Very impressive. Big target here, a Frenchman that you want to try and hit. Here we go. Looks like, yeah, the US is determined to try and win this with a melee fight. There you go again. there you go. The US once again repulsed. Piedmont, you know, after I've been saying that they can't melee to save their lives, they're doing a pretty decent job. Who isn't doing a great job is the US. Yeah, a lot of their units breaking over here. The Consuls Guard are just romping through them. Piedmont actually over here not doing such a great job in melee, but we don't speak about that. They're holding okay. The Russians also have a life guard here. I didn't even realize. A whole coalition of supporters. Very scary and very large looking grenadier unit there about to charge. The French get a rear charge off first. Really nice there. And actually my route, yeah, that's routed the Piedmont unit. Didn't even need the grenadiers to charge. That is very handy. There you go. I mean, that is like Piedmont's little sort of asset that was over here helping the Brits. That's been routed. Piedmont now is in danger of being sandwiched themselves if the UK get defeated. Austria has returned a little bit. And he looks like he's trying to do what he can to rout these Young Guard and maybe sort of turn the flank back on the French. There's a bit of melee going on here. I didn't even see this. Piedmont is fighting here against some French infantry. And yeah, it looks like we've got National Guard as well coming forward. Here come the Life Guards. They're going in across the line. That's Russian general, like generic infantry going in. The musketeers, they should rout the National Guard easily. Same situation here. There you go. That's one gone. The next one's fallen. The young, I was going to call them the Young Guard. The Young Guard of Russia, which is the Guard of Russia. They need to try and get into more melee. Try and rout as many of these French as possible. I mean, force them back to their commander. Their commander's pretty much on the front line as well. Looks like the French have been forced back here by rushing it. Volleys is another one of the guard units here. It's good that they're kind of spread out everywhere. They're fairly useful, you know, fairly sort of like flexible, being like they're both decent at shooting and also melee. We've got two guard units here for the French. They're both routing from the re-rallied Austrians. And the Cossacks going way in behind again. I think they're going to go for the guns, which are very slowly being moved. I think that is their intended target. The French guns there. France giving up on this advance here. Looks like the Life Guards here and their Russian allies are too much for them. The US though not finished. He's like, I'm not putting down this fist until I've won. Go. So Piedmont, yeah, again falling back. I guess maybe the more expensive units are dead. I mean, I think they will brought one grenadier and it's all this National Ordnanza, which might be like National Guard, like militia. I'm not quite sure. You've got musketeers in there. They're trying to break out the French. One of the French armies, at least one, has no general. I think maybe both. There's at least two now. I think they have no general. One of them was this army here in front of us. It was probably starting to show the morale. This is like orange there already. For a little bit, it was orange. France here on the flank here. The German infantry gonna just go and deal with them. 1814. I think he's out of men and out of ideas at the moment. He's getting chased out of town. Here come the French again, red lining and green lining. This unit probably should have come a lot earlier when it was not, you know, nearly dead. And I don't know why we had a little bit of lag there, but we did. But the Life Guards of Russia going in.
charging, routing them pretty easily. Now they need to get in amongst the Americans, really. But there's a few options what they can go for. But I think the coalition have got them in a good spot here. Sorry, the Imperials got them in a good spot here. They just need to get the Russian infantry units to try and get in here, melee this unit so it doesn't shoot them in the back. Because yeah, you can see it here now. The Russians are being shot in the back. They're winning slightly still. But how long? I do not know. There you go. The red line, the orange lining. The French are redlining. A charge from the Russians might just be enough. Piedmont needs to keep moving forward. The the UK still getting pressured by France over here.
Yes, sir. A unit has grown weary, sir.
And there you go, Grenadiers unleashing a volley. You can face up against the SA regiment there. We've got another fellow Grenadier. There you go, the Guard looks like they were quite successful. Down to 140 men left, there's still a very healthy unit. And with them just being in the back lines here, Piedmont's been able to win against the US.
Your men have been routed, sir.
And here come the Russian Guards, going after the Young Guard. And they go redlining and breaking. And I think it's going to be a long trip back to Rivoli and maybe back to Paris for France and the US. I mean, the US, or even longer trip back to Washington. Yeah, Russia and Austria over here starting to mop up this sort of left flank. They need the artillery reactivated to the French. US hanging on a little bit better against Piedmont, and also looks like a little bit of Russia as well. Maybe because I think Piedmont's just taking his time getting there. And there you go, looks like... Oh, they got the artillery, okay. An easy victory there for the over the Americans to the Russians. I mean, I think the French plan kind of worked. I think they just kind of didn't execute it perfectly. It also kind of fell apart with the loss of that general. I think they really had the advantage on the Russians and really had them on the run, especially the Americans on the way. It looks like actually the Russians have managed to get their guard back up here. They've brought it. I think it's the one that was in square that the French have kind of ignored. We've got, yeah, Russian guards. This looks like Grenadiers. They might have just routed recently. Yeah, Russian guards look like they're going to be dealing with this French Grenadier. Got rid of them. Very, very nice. I mean, the Russian guards, I mean, how they're tired, but they're not, that's not too bad. But if the Brits can pin down the French here, the Russian guard can just continue through the forest and do so much damage. Looks like the consul of the guard are just running for their lives. They're just like, yeah, screw it, get out of there. Actually, they're going for maybe rear charges? I don't know. The Brits are in a really messy position here. It's sandwiched between the French. I mean, they're getting shot in the back. Gonna get shot in the back there. That's a pretty nasty volley. They should just charge down. Yeah, there you go. One volley, charge in, bayonets twirling. Pin these guys to the constable guard. Can get in. They're redlining. The constable guard get in there, sandwich those guys. Should rout the Brits. Yeah, just about. Here come the rest of the French out of the forest, charging the green rascals. Really need to get the tabs in here, get them trying to, you know, stop this French bayonet charge. It's just going to charge the back of their own British troops. That's going to upset them. The Russians come descending out of the forest as well. And there you go. Looks like the consul guards are going to try and take out the tabs. Looks like the Russians might get defeated here. They managed to defeat French Grenadiers, but not French line infantry. And actually, there you go, they turn it around. I'm talking rubbish. They saved themselves. And yeah, the Brits look like they're going to repel them. The Devonshire foot over here doing their bit, routing some Frenchies as well. Good lads. Yeah, it looks like the US might be the last standing, to be honest. The French kind of just getting slowly chipped away at. Austria, you know, nearly fell, and I feel like the French, after they defeated the Austrians, maybe really should have plugged on that flank, trying to outflank them. I mean, if they hadn't lost the French general, I think they could have really quickly pinned to this Russian army. I think it was, you know, a really well-planned move. The Austrians way too aggressive. Then the charge from the French from 1814 especially did a really good job getting rid of the Austrians. And then yeah, the Americans on this side untouched, starting to push on hard, and the Russians were being forced back, and they could have certainly engulfed them. It was turning into a 3v2 and almost a 3v1. Piedmont luckily turned around at the right time, and the UK did as well. They got beckoned back after they were just being baited away by the other French army. And yeah, that French army, that other Italian campaign army, just didn't have enough in the end to break through. Still got some, like, they look like grenadiers, but I think they're just militia, really. They're not actually like an actual grenadier. And the general here is actually mounted? No, it's just staff, I'm presuming. Oh, he's actually here as the general. I was going to say he's going to go in the building, but he hasn't actually set himself up to go in the building. The French, look at them. Looks like they've got no... I think this French army might have no general. This might be, yeah, 1814. I think there's losses as well, maybe? So I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember now. But yeah, this army definitely has no general. I mean, it looks like they're in a worse shape than the Austrians, who also have lost theirs. I mean, Piedmont just needs to keep being aggressive. Just don't stop. Don't stop to fight the Americans. Don't stop to shoot them. Just try and get into melee. Even with your terrible melee stats, it's probably the best move that they can do. The French are returning a little bit over here, but Piedmont and the Russians and the Brits should be able to deal with them. And here we go. Russia going in again. The Guard once again. I think it's like a dismounted dragoon. There you go, dismounted dragoon or whatever it is. I think it's a militia unit, probably just getting routed there by the Russian Guard. A volley into the side there, a little bit by the American infantry. The Russian Guard, yeah, overwhelming them. And yeah, here comes the Russian line infantry now, the musketeers. Getting stuck in. I think the general, yeah, he's very close to having dismounted as well, not good. He's redlining and orange lining. You'll probably get him pretty quickly. He's, I think, being affected by the units around him. And the Russians are just going to melee these guys. They're going to do a great job on the Americans, who just, yeah, really aren't. I think their strategy really is, I think, just skirmishers. I think they're a real skirmish spam faction. Real skirmish units, like skirmish grenadiers and stuff like that. They're like some really good units. It's not their style, I think, to try and get into melee at all, Americans. But there you go, the general should die pretty soon, and we're just going to fast forward now. As you can see, it's going to be a coalition victory. We're just waiting on this final French unit here, I think, to rout. And that is then going to be GG. The Russians spearheading this victory, you could say. Certainly with those Russian guardsmen, they've done a great job with them. And the Monmouthshire Lightfoot, they just got to set up, and they just could probably just, you know, have an infantry duel, a line fight duel, and that will probably be enough for them. I'm surprised Britain kept his general as well. I mean, Edward Paget's been very, very close to dying a few times here, and there you go. Being routed as that French unit. Oh, another one's returned somewhere. French Cav. Where was this? Does the French Cav just returned, or it's just been in the back lines somewhere? And there you go, another general dead. I think that's the US one. But yeah, there you go. French Cav still alive for some reason in the back lines doing something. Just turn this musketeer unit around. You probably route it fairly quickly. And it looks like buildings have been captured. I think Rivoli is being stormed. There actually is a few generals over here. I think this might be 1814's general that's over here actually that hasn't been killed off. And yeah, there's still some Frenchmen here that are re-rallying. Where are they coming from? But they're still fighting Russian lifeguards who actually are sort of farming a little bit. But yeah, that should be game now, I think. I can't see any red marks on the battlefield unless there's some hidden ones. But yeah, we'll just fast forward a little bit and hopefully we'll get the end result. There we go. And that is today's battle. Was sent in by the Russian player who is Robert Cop Gamer. So thank you very much, man, for sending this one in. Much appreciated. He got, I think, the most kills for his side. He got like 2,000 odd kills. His Russian guards are insane. We'll have a quick look at those in a moment. But yeah, well done to him, to KC, to 6 Foot Rabbit, to Waggy. And then who are all playing as the coalition. Then we have Garen Stearns. We have Harry and Lucas. I probably butchered his name there. And Colt Anderson playing as the Imperial forces. Well done to all of them as well. Put up a good fight. Honestly, could have gone their way, I think, if they maybe pressured a little bit more on the Russians and Piedmont and UK had been baited away a little bit longer. They might have been able to turn that one around. But yeah, hopefully the end results have been put up on the screen so you guys can have a look at those. We'll have a quick look at the kills for the Russians. You can see here the Russian Guards, 500 kills, nearly 441 kills, 218. Cossacks, 186. 136, 127, 115, 103 for the Musketeers. Yeah, some good kills. You can see the rest of those there. And Bennington even getting one for himself. Well done him. But there you go, guys. That is today's NTW3 battle. If you did enjoy and want to see some more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment, show your support. And I'll see you folks in the next one. Bye for now.